Hello and welcome to the program. I am Deji. Now, as the clock ticks down to the February 16th date set for the beginning of the 2019 general election, presidential candidates have been moving around the country to garner support for their ambitions before the full-blown campaign begins. One of such candidates, of course, is Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, who is seen as the main challenger to the incumbent Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressives Congress. He got a huge political boost in the past week when the Igbo socio-political group, Ohanaeze Igbo, and other Igbo leaders openly endorsed him for the presidency of the country. The group called on the people of the southeast of the country to cast their vote for Abubakar in the presidential election. Now, the running mate of Abubakar, Peter Obi, is, of course, from the southeast of the country. So the endorsement does not really come as a big surprise. The APC, of course, has dismissed the endorsement, saying Ohanaeze cannot speak for the entire people of the southeast. But the question is, just how crucial is the endorsement now for Atiku Abubakar and the PDP? Joining me right now to discuss this issue from another part of Lagos is Chief Godwin Wazirike, who is the chieftain of Ohanaeze Igbo and, of course, the former president of Aka Ikenga, another Igbo socio-political group. And by the way, Chief Wazirike is also a lawyer. Chief, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let me start by asking you, just how significant is this endorsement?
It is significant because the Igbos have been clamoring for restructuring for years now. And I know that Elijah Atiku Abubakar also endorsed restructuring almost 2 years ago. He received a lot of flack, but now the Igbos are saying, and by the way, not just Southeast, the Igbos, wherever they are saying whoever is in support of restructuring. So
can we say Ohanaeze Igbo was speaking or spoke for every Igbo person? Because we have a number of Igbo groups too that have completely opposed its position. And then don't also forget, you have, Igbo people in the APC as well.
Well, those who are opposing, I'll call them those who are operating what I'll call one-man riot squads. One-man riot squad because you have a name, you have the media consultants to carry what they're saying, and people will think you're on the ground. The only opposition for all Igbo-speaking areas will always be Ohanaeze. For those who are not aware of the meaning, Oha means everybody. Naeze means and the traditional rulers. And if Ohanaeze gathers all the intelligentsia and the leaders of thought in one room and they endorse Atiku Abubakar, who are you?
But I have to ask you one question. Don't you think by doing this, it's like, Ohanaeze would appear to be playing tribal politics? Because the impression a lot of people get is that, look, you're doing this because the running mate of Atiku Abubakar is from the southeast of the country.
Well, I will tell them without any fear of contradiction that they are wrong. Wrong because Ohanaeze started talking of restructuring long before Atiku emerged as the PDP presidential candidate. Ohanaeze has been emphasizing restructuring long before Peter Obi was chosen as the running mate of Atiku Abubakar. If you are on the same page with me, now, why shouldn't I support you?
What gives you the impression, and what makes you believe as an individual and also a chieftain of Ohanaeze Igbo that, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar now would actually restructure the country? And in any case, what kind of restructuring are we talking about here?
Restructuring is a very simple expression. Afenifere has been singing it like music. Ohanaeze has been singing it like music. Middle Belt has been singing it like music. Those who oppose to restructuring are mainly from certain parts of the country, and there are those who want the situation to continue. In a simple language, restructuring means things cannot continue like this.
I understand what you mean, Chief, but what I'm saying is, what gives you the impression that your own understanding of restructuring is the same thing as that of Atiku Abubakar?
Well, I think our understanding is the same because we are talking of geographical equality. In other words, there are 6 zones. All the 6 zones must have the same number of states. We are talking of devolution of powers, reducing the load of the federal government and moving them to the states.
Is it not misplaced that
I
mean, all this while you've been channeling your effort at the presidency, when in actual fact, you should be looking at the National Assembly and the assemblies of the various states, including the governments of the various states, because...
Well, the buck stops at the president's table. It is the president who believes in structure who will initiate it.
But fact is, even the lawmakers can initiate it anyway.
Yes, they can, but they have limited scope. It is the president who rally the nation around and say things have to change. In other words, Ministry of Water Resources, what is your business sinking boreholes in my backyard? Because they don't know what to do with their money.
With this endorsement now, what people should expect to see is a block vote for Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi in the southeast of the country, right?
Well, we're talking of Igbos scattered all over Nigeria. We are speaking of Igbos because wherever we are one. Yes, we have dissidents because we are Republicans.
You consider those who are not towing your position as dissidents?
Views. No. I said we tolerate dissident views because we believe in freedom of speech. So those people are free to say anything they like. They will have their say, Ohanaeze will have his way. But also, don't forget one thing. The Igbos know what they want.
Well, and the irony is that there are quite a number of Igbo people in this government as well who are saying, look, what the Igbos want is to support this government because they believe that, the quickest way for the presidency to rotate to the southeast is through the current government.
Well, they are what I call sycophants. I call some of them those who point at their father's house.
But don't you believe that, look, the quickest way to actualize an Igbo presidency, for instance, a president from the southeast of the country, is by supporting the current party in power?
I will tell you something. If you come to the Igbos and say this is what you want to do, and it is in line with what the Igbos want, why would they support you? The present government, for the past 4 years or 3.5 years, we have been asking them, why can't you obey what the Constitution says about federal character? And what do we have as answer? Either they ignore us or they tell us 5%, or they turn around and overlook whatever we're saying. And those Igbos who are in APC, yes, you can belong to any party you want. Nobody will stop you. But then the truth is that it is the man who is in sync with our views that will get our vote.
But in fairness, you think this government has not done much in the southeast? Because the government keeps saying, look, it's done so much in the southeast. And you have people from the southeast who continue to maintain that the government has done quite a lot.
Well, I'm glad you asked this question. We see all that the government has done on the pages of the newspapers. You talk of the Second Mainland Bridge. This government stopped it in September 2015. And only a couple of weeks ago did this government sign the contract.
That's the contract for the main work. Because, I mean, some other work has been going on.
Hold on. This is where some of you have been deceived.
I know of that. That I know of.
Deji, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the truth. The site of the construction is the home of many people. Those who come from Delta Igbo areas will always tell you they know what is going on. Those who are on the Anambra side will tell you nothing is going on.
Something has been going on in any case, but that's not.
Hold on, the pages of newspaper. Yes, and then you talk of Enugu Onisha Road. On the pages of newspaper, we see beautiful roads. Try and drive on that road.
Going on
the only federal presence. Hold on. No work. Hold on. Nothing is going on. The federal presence in the southeast is nothing but soldiers. Every 100 meters, you must find soldiers. And then after that, you find policemen. That's the only federal presence.
Recently, and I honestly,
I'll challenge you to go on that Enugu Onisha Road and prove me wrong.
I'm not saying the road has been completed, but I know work is going on because I know. I drove on that road.
I say what is going on is called presence of policemen and presence of soldiers, heavily armed soldiers. That's all they do. So there's no way you can go in the southeast without feeling federal presence, and federal presence is police
and finally,
military presence.
What's your take on the need for the southeast to produce a president in 2019? I mean 2023.
With time. let's cross the bridge when we get there. The first thing is 2019. So when we cross the bridge of 2019,
you don't think it's necessary to start talking about that now? Because if you ask me, I think it's very important.
It is not a campaign issue in 2019. Certainly, it's not a campaign issue.
You don't think it will become a campaign issue because it's already a campaign issue? Atiku Abubakar has said he's going to do one term, and the understanding is that if he says he's going to do one term, it means he will do one term, and then the presidency goes to the southeast. You also have.
That's why I said after 2019 election, we can now start talking of 2023. But to put 2023 in place of 2019 is nothing but Goebbels' theory. Deceive them, tell them what they want to hear.
But Chief, you can't deny the fact that, look, whether we like it or not, what happens in 2023 will definitely be, one of the campaign topics as we go on to the 2019 elections.
Yes. Let's wait and see.
All right, Chief Godwin Wazirike, thank you very much for joining us on the program. All right, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back to continue this discussion. I'll have another guest. On Deji 360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent.
Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country.
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly.
God forbid that I go to join that planet.
Deji 360, providing clarity to issues.